William Whalen here for GetMoreSports.com. Our Recruit and Reload series moves on, looking at the Arizona Wildcats. Sean Miller has recruited as well as anybody in the nation, maybe not named John Calipari. Of course, leading McDonald's All-Americans, Parade All-Americans, five-star prospects to Tucson throughout his tenure. Yet the Wildcats have not had to deal with quite as much turnover as the rest of the schools. Now, why is that? Is he recruiting physical freaks that can play multiple positions that maybe aren't skillfully ready for the NBA yet? Sure, that could be said for sure. But however, what I really think it is that he builds a culture in Tucson where guys care much more about winning and winning now than they do about their NBA future, at least in the short term. Now, of course, they have lost two players to the NBA draft already this year. Sophomore Rondae Hollis-Jefferson declared, junior Brandon Ashley, and I'm expecting freshman Stanley Johnson to be declaring any day now. They also lead their general, their captain, the guy who led them into battle every single night, TJ McConnell, senior point guard, has graduated. But Caleb Tarczewski has announced that he will return for his senior year, and Arizona brings in, oh my God, William Whalen here for GetMoreSports.com. Our Recruit and Reload series moves to the desert, Tucson, Arizona, where we look at Sean Miller and the Arizona Wildcats, a program and a coach that have recruited as well as anybody not named John Calipari in the country over the last few years. Yet they haven't had to deal with quite as many one-and-dones as the likes of Kentucky have. Whatever the reason is for that, they do lose a couple players this year to the NBA draft. Rondae Hollis-Jefferson and Brandon Ashley have both declared. Hollis-Jefferson, obviously a sophomore, Ashley a junior. We're expecting Stanley Johnson to make that declaration any day now. Reports have surfaced that he's talking to Rock Nation, actually to be his agents going into the NBA. So what is this team going to look like next year? Well, the first question for me is point guard position. You lose TJ McConnell to graduation. Of course, you have a guy in Parker Jackson Cartwright, a former blue chip recruit who played for you in spot minutes last year, but you're also bringing in five-star Justin Simon. He's going to be a guy that I look for to be the day one starter. However, there are worse things than having Parker Jackson Cartwright run your point guard spot until Simon is ready. The two-guard spot's going to be really interesting because you have Gabe York and Alonzo Trier. York has the experience, shooting. Trier, talent. Probably a little bit more talented, actually, than York. Can also score the ball in absolute bunches. It's going to be very interesting to see how that spot plays out. But without a doubt, the most interesting spot on this team next year is going to be the small forward. Because if Stanley Johnson comes back, you've got that position locked down. Nobody really needs to contend for that. If he doesn't come back, you're probably sliding either Trier or Gabe York to that 3 spot, and then you're giving up a little bit of size that Arizona has been known for in the last few years. But this is the big question. How healthy is Ray Smith going to be? A 5-star recruit, small forward, 6'7", freak athlete from Las Vegas. If he's healthy, then your small forward spot is set, and you don't have to worry about that. Sure, depth is a concern, but you've got the talent up front. If he's not, that's where things are going to get interesting for Sean Miller. I think guard play is going to dictate this Arizona team next year. They've had bigs in the past, and it hasn't led them to a Final Four. If their guards step up next year, that just might be the thing to do it, to finally get Sean Miller over the hump and Arizona back to the Final Four.